All right. Hey, it's Daniel. I'm doing first video. We're going over the random password generator. So right now I have all the code. So there's our index file that they gave us. This is our style sheet, and there's our script. I'm gonna make my screen a little bit smaller so I can probably put more on, and I can get rid of that bar. Okay. And if we open this in the default browser, that we have this right now. So you have we kind of inspect that, right? There's, your H1, there's H2, here's this text area, and then you have this button. And what we want to do, I look at I don't have the README, but I know we want to, when you hit this button, prompt some things. And so if you haven't read the README, go read the README for that. So I'm going to kind of just go over how I tackled it and looking at the script. I probably changed some of the style, but right now let's focus on the script. So what they give you already is they give you this button to generate the add event listener, that when I click on generate button, when I click on the button, it will do this write password function. So really I could maybe think about even doing it like this. I'll just move this whole thing down, and maybe it's a little bit more in an order that kind of makes sense. So when this is clicked, when this button is clicked, when it's clicked, that's the action, I'll do this method, which is called write password. And then here's this function here, and inside write password, I also have another method called generate password. So I know I will also need a function called generate password, which is what this is being called. So that's where we're starting off. I kind of want to start off with my variables up top, the things I know I'll need to have. And so I'm going to have character length, which is what I'm going to store. But I'm going to store how long the password is going to be. I'm going to start off by assigning it to be 8, just as an assumption. I assume it will change whenever I ask them a question about it, but that will be just kind of a default setting. And I'm going to have a variable called choice array, which will be an array where I will store all the possible letters or symbols I can use when I create the password. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple arrays here. I'll try to do this fast. I'll do special character array, and I'll do that. And then I'm also going to basically do another one. I'll do lowercase. It's a lowercase array. So I'm going to store all my lowercase symbols. And I got an uppercase array, trying to use pretty much all the same syntax as far as number and then R, whatever that. So let's pick our special characters, and I'm going to do this as a string. I'm just going to copy this and kind of paste it a bunch of times. I'm just going to come in and put some characters in there. Okay, that's about enough. So I'm just going to kind of exclamation point, maybe the @ symbol, hashtag, $. Just kind of go in, put in all whatever I think are special characters. I don't think we need to have a million per se, but whatever special characters you might want. All right, that's looking pretty good. Maybe it's this, maybe a question mark, maybe this slash. Let's do a less than, greater than, and that's enough. I don't really need that many special characters. So there's my special characters. So for lowercase letters, do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's sort of a pain to do. I mean, I'm sure you could fast forward this part. Again, I'm just making a bunch of strings and putting in all the letters. Maybe I'll edit this out. I don't know. E, F, G, H. This will help you a lot later on. L M N O P Q R S T T U V W X Y Z. Oh man. So I think that's all of them. A B C D E F G L M N O P Q R S T V W X Y and Z. Okay, so that's all of them. I'm just going to actually just copy that and do that here. Just make these uppercase really quick. Hopefully you're fast forwarding through this. Because I probably won't edit this out because that'll probably be more work than I need to. I'm not getting paid for these videos, so I'm not gonna make the nicest thing you've ever seen. P Q R, so close. S T U V W X Y Z. Okay, and then same thing. We need 10 characters here, so one. Oh, nope. Need to do that. Copy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So that's going to be 0, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I can save that. Okay, so these are all my possible characters I can use for my password. Okay, so now let's go look at generate password. So this is what we're gonna do a generate password, and we would generate normally. I would generate the password based on the prompts, based on what the user wants me to make a password of. So I'm actually going to write one more function before I get there. That's called function get prompts. This is where I'm going to get all my information from. What I'm going to do first, so the first thing I'll ask the person is how many characters do you want in your password? So I'm going to prompt them. So there's prompt, and I will ask them how many characters do you want your password to be? And I'm going to mention, I'm going to say, 8, or I'll say 8 to 128 characters. That's what holds the associations. And then when I do this prompt, it will be returned not as a number, but as a string. Even if you type 8 or 10, it's returned as a string. So I will also parse into that, which will then convert that string into the number one. So, and now then I will save that into character length. So I ask them, I take the string that they answer with, I turn that into an integer, and I save that integer into this character length. Notice I'm not putting var character length here at all because I already defined it up here. I said it's going to be, like I said, to 8 to begin with, and this will probably change it unless you want it. Now I need to just make sure that that you gave me a good number. So in this if statement, I'm going to have a couple of conditions. So is NaN is not a number. This will be returned true or false. So if you type a string into this, when I prompt you how many characters do you want, and you say 20, but like you typed it like a string, and then you try to turn a string into an integer, you would get not a number, NaN, which is a type in JavaScript. This is just making sure that you don't type the wrong thing here. So if you type the right thing, this will be an integer, and this will be false. So this is checking to make sure you type number. The other thing I want to check is I want to make sure that character length is not less than 8. I want to be greater than 8. And I need to make sure that character length is not strictly greater than 128. Right? So I want all of these things to be false. I want to make sure that if you have a integer, a number here, then this will be false. And if your character length is like 20 or some good point, then this will be false. And if it's also 20, it won't be greater than 128, so this is false. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping that this is all false. But this is where I'm checking to make sure that you have given me good information. So on the off chance that you didn't give me good information, I will alert something like character length has to be a number 8 to 128 digits. Please try again. Something like that to let them know I need to do it again. And then I'm going to return false. The return there will stop that function, and also I will be able to know if it's false or not. That's just a check to make sure that that everything goes well. So after that, I can now do some other stuff. So I'm going to first confirm. So confirm is when I do the prompt, but it's okay or cancel. Say, would you like lowercase letters in your password? In your password. Would you like lowercase letters in your password? Right? So I'm going to ask them that, and then I'm going to take their answer, because with the confirm, it'll either be true or false. It'll return a Boolean statement, so this is true or false. And if that's true, so I wrap that in parentheses, and I put an if here. If this is true, meaning if you do want lowercase letters in your password, I'm going to then look at my choice array, which at this point is empty. Right at the top of this, it's empty right now. There's nothing in it. But if you want lowercase letters, I'll just go ahead and concatenate the choice array with the lowercase letters. So now I'm going to take everything that was in lowercase letters, all of those string values of lowercase letters, and put them into choice array, and then I'm going to save that back in choice array. So if you hit yes on this point, then your choice array right now have 26 characters in it. I'm basically going to copy that again, but now I'm going to hit uppercase. Would you like uppercase letters? And if that's true, I will now concatenate it with uppercase array. And I can paste that again. Would you like special characters? Like special characters in your password, something like that. And again, I'll now do special character array. And then one more time, would you like numbers in your password? Numbers your password, and I will then add the numbers array. Number array. So after all those 5 questions, you have this. You have a prompt here. You have then 4 confirms, so 5 questions. I don't need to check this or not, because you can't input anything. It's true or false. So I don't have to do this check thing like I did here. After all that, I will return true, and this function is over. And after this, your choice array will have the right letter. So let's just test this real quick. I save this. I'm going to go to index. I'm going to open the default browser. So here it is. I'm going to open up and inspect it really quick. Here's my console. In my console, I'm going to call get prompts. Right? So again, there's your function. You put open close parentheses to actually call it. And there's my prompt. So I'm going to say 20. And I'm going to say okay to lowercase, okay to uppercase, okay to special characters. I noticed I spelled something wrong. Okay to numbers. And now if I look at my choice array, there it is. I have 81 possible things to pick from in my choice array. If I ran this again, 16, but I'm going to say okay to lowercase. I'm going to say no to this, no to that, no to that. You're going to see a problem here in a sec. I hit choice array. Oh, now it's 107 things in it. So a good thing is you're testing a lot as you go to kind of give you some insight. So I'm going to go back to VS Code. In script, I'm going to, whenever I do get prompts, I'm going to go ahead and just reset choice array to be an empty array. That way I'll always kind of restart here. That. And I noticed that I misspelled characters, so I think that's on my slide, right? But now this prompt thing works. This will affect my choice array and it returns true or false. So get prompts works. So let me now go back to write password. I'm gonna call from write password. Before I generate the password, I need to know what I can generate the password with. So in this write password, I'm going to call get prompts. I'm going to call get prompts here. I'm going to run it. And this will return this method. This returns true or false. If it returns false, then they didn't enter the right password. So I'll do something about that. But for now, I'm going to actually, I'm going to save that. I'm going to go set correct prompts and have this variable correct prompts to be get prompts. So correct prompts would be either true or false, depending on if they actually did the prompts well. So it's true or false. So if this is true, so if they correctly gave me prompts, what am I going to do? Okay, so let's think about this. If they actually gave me the right prompts, well then, only then, can I start to do all this business. So only if you gave me the right prompts, only then can I generate a password, right? If you don't give me the right prompts, I'm not going to generate a password. But if you give me the right prompts, I will generate a password. So now we can write this method. So now we're thinking about how would we generate a password. So I'm going to have a string called password. I'm going to just originally set it to be empty, just an empty string. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a for loop. So for var I equals 0, this is your kind of basic for loop. I is less than choice array dot length. So, oh, sorry, not choice array dot length. Sorry, I want character length. This loop will keep going for however long the character length is. Remember, character length is the value that you wanted your password to be, whether it's 20 characters or 70 characters or 100 characters. That's how long my loop will go for. And every time I'll just add 1 to I. So pretty basic for loop. So once there, I'm going to make a random letter. So var random letter is a new character. And I'm going to get that random letter by creating, so here's a math.random. That's going to create a value, a floating point value from 0 to 0.999. So I'm going to take that and multiply it by the choice array length, right? So if we had like 81 characters in our choice array, that would give me some value between 0 and 80.999. So then I'm also going to do math.floor of that. Math.floor of that. That'll actually give me an integer from 0 to 80 or however long I get to pick from. So give me a random value between that. Right? So really it's not really a random letter. You could say it's a random index if you want to be a little more precise. So now I have a random index. So now my password, I can just set that equal to password. So whatever is there before, plus choice array with some random index. Right? The random index is some random value between 0 and however many choices you have in your choice array. So choice array with that random will be some random symbol from that array. and I'm just going to add it to password and then store that new value back into password. And then after that for loop is done, I'm just going to return password. So again, it starts off with this empty string. It does this for loop 20 times or 70 times or whatever, and then whatever it ends up with, it will return password. So it will basically kind of return this value back to line 21, and I will save that value in password. So again, I call this function on 21. It does all its magic. It returns a value, and that value gets stored back into password here. Now I notice here I'm using password twice, so maybe I'll change this to something different, like new password or something. I don't want to have the same names. I don't want to get confusing between the two. So I'll call it new password. Here's a query selector for password, and I'm going to change the password text to new password. So that's if you give me the correct prompts, I generate a new password, which I save in new password, and then I update the DOM, update my document object model. I'm going to throw an else here. I'm going to say if you didn't give me a good password, then I'm going to set password text value dot value to be value, password text value to be blank. And that's it for now. I think I did more in mind, but that's fine for now. And I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to move one line up here. Move that here. So that way I know what password text is no matter what, even before I do the if else, because I was using this password text dot value in both if else. So I needed to make sure it's defined no matter what up here. Okay, so let's run through it again. You got your arrays. Here is your generate button. There's your event listener. So this is where you get your document query selector from generate, that class, or I think it's that ID, generate, which is that ID is here on the button, right? This button right here has an ID of generate. So I add an event, but first off, I select that, and then I add the event listener. So this is like step 1, this is step 2. When you click on it, I do this write password function, which is right here on 17. When I get into this function on line 18, I call get prompts, which is down here on 39. I do all this on 39, do all that, return true or false up here. If I return true, then I will call the generate password function, which is what we have right here. Set that to be new password, change the text value, and then update the DOM. And it should work. I'm going to save. I'm going to save my style too. I need to save here, but I'm going to go back and refresh this. There's all my syntax now because I didn't save my CSS before, but now it's worked. So when I click generate password, it asks me what I want. Say 60 characters. I'm going to say okay, and there's my password. 60 characters long, random letters. Let's do it again. Let's test things out. Let's go with 20 this time. And I'm going to say lowercase letters, but I don't want uppercase. I don't want special. I don't want numbers. There it is. Only lowercase, right? Let's do it again. Let's do no lowercase. Let's do uppercase. Let's do special characters. It's still misspelled. No numbers. There we go. One more time. Let's break it. Let's say 20 spelled out like a string. And it says, can't do that. I do have an error here, so I'll check that in a sec. That's essentially it. My error is on 25, so it says script.js 25, so I'm going to go to my script 25 password test.value, is that the same thing as this? Copy that. Should be defined already. Special, why can't I spell special? There it is, okay. Okay, I think I fixed it. Should be. Save it again, refresh it, hit that. Broken. Character like that. Okay, no error anymore. Looks good. I want 17. Okay, no K, okay, no K, no K. There's a password. There you go. So that is that homework. Stay late. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope that helps. 25 minutes. I went through it kind of fast, so hopefully you can pause, refresh, or whatever you need to do. Cool. See you guys later.